Israel Adesanya just got knocked out by Nasruddin Imavov in round number 2, his third loss in a row in the middleweight division. The first two were title fights, Sean Strickland and Dricus du Plessis. Now, this is a contender, and Israel Adesanya still goes on to lose, and not lose a decision, a controversial 48-47. He gets knocked out by Nasruddin Imavov in round number 2. And his title aspirations, his future of ever becoming a champion, ever main eventing a pay-per-view again, are kind of over at this point. And I want to kind of make this video, I'll talk about the rest of the card in a little bit, but I want to talk about where did it all go wrong? Where did this start for Israel Adesanya? He's 35 years old right now. That has to be brought up as a big factor. He's obviously getting older in age. His speed is going down. His chin is going to go down with age as well. So that has to be factored in this equation. But that's 3 losses in a row. How did we come to this point where in all 3 of those losses, he's getting rocked, he's getting wobbled, he's getting hurt on the feet, he's getting submitted off getting rocked, he's getting knocked out by Imavov, he's getting knocked down by Sean Strickland, and then, of course, knocked out by Alex Pereira. All of these 4 losses in his last 5 fights all had something in common, is he's getting rocked in those matchups. And I truly do believe the downfall for Israel Adesanya is, 1, his age. He's getting older. It's going to be a natural degression in his skill level and his speed and his chin, and also the chin as well. I don't think his chin was ever an amazing sight to behold, because let's take a look down memory lane. Joined the UFC in 2018. Beat Rob Wilkinson. Cool. Beat Marvin Vettori, Brad Tavares, Brunson Silva, Gastelum Whitaker, Yoel. Let's take a look at these, 9 or 8 fighters in a row here. Marvin Vettori, no power. The Decision Nation machine. Let's go to Marvin Vettori's Tapology really quickly. The man has 2 knockouts on his record. Dude is not knocking out Israel Adesanya. He has no chance to. He has no fear of getting hit with a big shot. Brad Tavares, one of the most decision wins in UFC history. He's got 5 knockouts on his record. Very cool. So many decisions on his record. I don't even know the last time he's gotten a knockout. Freaking 7 years ago. It's another one. Okay. Anderson Silva, past his prime. Anderson Silva, like 44 years old. Obviously, there's no really fear of him knocking out Israel Adesanya. The guys he was knocking out were a bunch of guys back in the 2010s. He's not going to knock out Israel Adesanya. So you can kind of see a little trend here from the early fights of Israel Adesanya. Vettori, Tavares, Brunson, Anderson Silva. There is no fear and no potential, really, of any of them to knock out Adesanya. They all need to take him down or win a robbery on the scorecards. Kelvin Gastelum. That's where we first started to see it. Kelvin's not a knockout machine. He's got 5 knockouts on his record. This isn't a guy that goes out there and starches anybody except for Bisping in round number 1. That's it. Michael Bisping, how old was Michael at the time? 2017, that was 8 years ago. He was like 37 years old at the time. That is like the only time Kelvin Gastelum is full on knocking anybody out. The other ones are like ground and pound TKOs and really, really early on in his career. Even with that, in this interim title fight with Kelvin versus Israel Adesanya, Kelvin was able to rock Israel Adesanya, land some good, powerful punches on Israel Adesanya, wobble him, I believe drop him at one point as well. That is the first sign. Not even, again, Marvin, Brad, Brunson, Silva, not guys that really have potential to knock you out. And I wouldn't really think Kelvin would have a crazy potential to go out there and rock and wobble you and hurt you on the feet. But he did. And that was 2019. Israel was, I believe, in his prime, 29 years old at the time. And he was getting rocked then by a non-powerful puncher. We go on. Robert Whitaker. Now, Robert has some power. He's not like a non-powerful puncher, but I mean, let's look at his career. 2017 till now, he's got one knockout win. One knockout win in all of that time. All of that time. Only guy he was able to knock out was Ikram Aliskerov. Ikram stepped up on short notice, the main event a card with him, and he knocked out Ikram Aliskerov. Ikram's only lost by knockout. Yeah, I mean, Robert's got a lot of knockouts before joining the UFC and a long, long time ago, but recently, and especially when he fought Israel Adesanya, he wasn't really a knockout type of guy. He's a bounce, he's a outstrike you, pick you apart on the outside to defend your takedowns and beat you on the scorecards. Again, there's no fear there. There is no Israel Adesanya is going to get hurt in these fights. If he was fighting guys that really potentially had the ability to go out there and knock him out, I believe we would have saw a loss earlier. If Whitaker had Alex Pereira power, if Whitaker had Dricus du Plessis power, Imavov power, I believe he would have been able to hurt him and potentially win those fights, because there's danger. He can't just go in like that, like he was able to do on some of these guys, because he's going to get knocked out. I mean, Kelvin's knocking you down, for Christ's sakes. Yoel Romero. We remember how that fight went. It was horrible. Don't get me started on that one. Yoel's got some okay power, sure. But we watched the fight. He's got power. Let's move on from that one, because we know there was no power actually used in that matchup. So again, we're so many fights in, and nobody is really a powerful guy. And if they are a powerful guy, Yoel is like the only one here that is a actual knockout type of guy. He's not using it. He is not using it. Let's go on. Paulo Costa. That's the first one that tried to use it. He just wasn't able to land. Adesanya had good striking defense, good counter punching, and Paulo just wasn't able to land with that power. He is a powerful guy. 11 knockout wins on his record before that Adesanya fight. KO, and then the Yoel win. So that was about it. That was the first time we really got introduced to a guy that could go out there and knock out Adesanya. He just wasn't able to land. I guarantee you, if Paulo was able to land, the history of the middleweight division would be so much different, because Paulo would be able to land. And he would have cracked that shin that we already saw. Kelvin was able to crack a little bit. So Paulo, if he was able to land, would have cracked for sure. Again, Marvin, Whitaker, we've already kind of discussed them. Jared Cannonier. Definitely more of a powerful guy. But in terms of knocking you out on the feet, only time was Jack Hermanson, 2019. That's the only time in the last 6 years he's been able to knock someone out on the feet. It was Jack Hermanson in the main event. I believe that was in Sweden, the last time they were there. After that, it was like 3-4 years later when he fought Adesanya, and he really wasn't knocking out anybody on the feet. He didn't wobble, gas them on the feet. He didn't really wobble Whitaker on the feet. He took down and ground and pound TKO Derek Brunson, but he wasn't really showing the power on the feet. He didn't show it in the Strickland fight. Showed it a little bit in the Vettori fight. That dude just got a crazy chin. But again, he wasn't able to land. He wasn't able to land on Adesanya. So it was there all along for Paulo Costa and Jared Cannonier, who are naturally powerful guys, to land on Adesanya. If they were able to, they could have cracked the chin and exposed the chin a long time ago. That Kelvin did it originally back in 2019. Jared and Paulo weren't able to get in there and land. Then comes where we know the story. Alex Pereira was able to land. He's able to go in there, pressure forward, and land the big shots on Israel Adesanya. He's the first person that was able to re-crack the chin of Israel Adesanya. It's already shown weaknesses against a non-powerful puncher. And then the other powerful punchers, we just weren't able to see land anything. Jared Cannonier, Israel Adesanya, Jared just like staring at him for 5. It's a kickboxing kick pitter-patter match. Jared's not throwing those big shots. Paulo, he just got caught. Alex was able to land, and what do we see? A knockout, round number 5. He came back with an Alex Pereira win after that. Alex Pereira His weight cuts were a little bit bad at the times. Cutting the middleweight, he's a natural light heavyweight. His chin is not there, able to knock him out. Then comes the losing streak that, he's on right now. Sean Strickland knocks down Sean Strickland? This guy? 11 knockout wins. How many are in the UFC? He's got the Abus Magomedov win, which was not because of power, but because Abus has no cardio in that fight. His cardio has improved, but at that time, no cardio. Brendan Allen. That's a knockout win, I guess. Ground and pound. Alex Garcia, 2016. That's about it in the UFC. Alex Garcia. Brendan Allen. Cardio knockout. That's it. Sean is not a guy at all known for his power. He knocked down Adesanyas. So what do we see after that? Dricus is able to hurt Rock and submit Adesanya. Then we see Imavov is able to knock him out. What I'm trying to get at here is, it was there all along. This entire time, if the UFC put him against a power puncher, and that power puncher was able to get inside and land, like Sean was. Sean's not a power puncher, but I'm just saying, like Dricus was able to land, like Imavov was able to get in there and land. That's where Imavov loses, or that's where Adesanya loses. I don't think his chin has ever been great. I think that's what we have to realize. His skills are amazing. He's a legend of the game. Like 8 title wins is crazy. Is insane. Absolutely an impressive feat for Israel Adesanya. But it was there all along that his chin just wasn't that good. Was not that good. Whenever it was landed clean on, Kelvin landed on it clean, he was able to rock him. Nobody else was really able to land on it clean because they didn't want to get countered by Adesanya. But when they were going in there and actually not really worrying about the counters and just trying to get in there and land their shots, they were able to connect and rock Israel Adesanya. I do believe that is the big downfall of Adesanya. And it's not like, Alex Pereira broke the chin of Israel Adesanya. It's always been like that. I truly believe it's always been like that since 2019, since maybe prior to that, but none of these guys are cracking the chin. So I think the issue has been there all along. It's just now, these last 5 fights, 1, 2, 3, 4 of the fights had powerful guys. Pereira, Dricus is a powerful guy. Dropped and knocked out Robert Whittaker. Imavov's a powerful guy. When you mix in these guys that are able to go in and get countered a little bit by Adesanya and land their big shots, Adesanya gets knocked out. So, what I would like to say, let's go to middleweight rankings on Tapology really quick. We're gonna break down the rest of the card. We gotta give him a non-powerful puncher. Kaio has some power. He knocked out Paul Craig and he wobbled Cannonier. We're not gonna give him Kaio. We're not gonna do that. We can do Kaio versus Imavov. We can do Kaio versus the loser of Strickland Chimaev. We can do other stuff for Kaio. We're not gonna do Kaio versus Adesanya. What we're gonna do, we're not gonna give him a full-on amazing wrestler like Fluffy Hernandez. We're gonna give him. You can't give him Roman Kopylov either. I don't know who to give him. Who's a guy that just does not have crazy KO power that could get Adesanya back on the winning streak? Jack Hermanson, but he's got the wrestling. I don't know where he goes from here. I really don't know where he goes from here. What do you do with Adesanya? Because there are a lot of powerful guys. Joe Pyfer, Gregory Rodriguez, Roman Kopylov, Michel Pereira. Powerful guys in this middleweight division that all could potentially easily go out there and knock out Adesanya. Then you got the grappler types, Fluffy, Allen, Jack Hermanson, who all present dangerous things on the ground for Adesanya. I don't know. I don't like Adesanya's future. I don't like it. There's too many powerful guys coming up that, when he was on his come up, he wasn't fighting those powerful guys. Now there are. Michelle, Chris, Roman, Gregory, Shara, Pyfer, powerful guys. I don't know what he does now, but yeah, Imavov got inside, made it a close technical round one, got inside and cracked the chin of Adesanya and knocked him out. Impressive performance. Give him the winner of Hamza and whoever he fights, or give him the loser of Sean and Drickus next week. If he wins that one, give him a title fight. Impressive performance. Adesanya, it's just the chin. That's my opinion. It's my opinion. Michael Page. Let's move on. Michael Page, Shara Magomedov. I predicted this fight basically to a T. 2-1 underdog, Michael Venom Page. Why is he a 2-1 underdog against Shara? Shara has the speed of the kicks, but like I was saying in my breakdown prediction video, Page has the speed and he's got the punches. He's just going to keep getting inside and blitzing and landing the jabs and landing that right straight right down the middle. And all Shara's going to land is leg kicks. You're not going to win a fight with leg kicks when they're to the thigh. It's super, super hard to land calf kicks on Michael Venom Page. If you're going to land on the leg of Page, you're going to land to the thigh. And if that's all you're landing, which is basically all Shara was landing, you're not going to win. Thigh kicks, you could withstand and keep on fighting through. The judges know that. You're not going to get, and start limping over thigh kicks. I know that. Page is eating the thigh kicks, getting out of the way of a lot of them as well, staying away from the calf kicks, which are the actual detrimental kicks, and he's just landing jabs and 1-2s and straights down the middle. He won the fight. I thought it would go exactly how it did. I don't know why he was the underdog, but he won the fight fairly easily. Fairly easy win there for Michael Page. Impressive for sure. And I want to check the rankings out really quickly, because there's fun to be had at welterweight and fun to be had at middleweight. He obviously said he's going to stay in the welterweight division. He's going to go back down. And there's fun to be had. There's Jeff Neal. Ooh, banger. There is Jeff Neal. There is... Can't do Ian again. Can't do Buckley again. Jack. You can't push him up that hard. You're not going to do the Thompson fight because that's horrible. It's a horrible fight. Yeah, I love a Jeff Neal matchup. But middleweight, my. Is there fun? MVP, if you're watching this video, please stay at middleweight. Please size up a little bit, put on a little bit of weight. Keep the speed though. You're already ranked 14th in the middleweight division and 15th at welterweight. You're higher ranked at the middleweight division. Look at the options here. You're not going to fight Jack. You're not going to fight Hernandez. We know the UFC's not going to do that to you. But look at your options. You got Jared Cannonier. Jared's fighting Gregory Rodriguez in February, later this month. You have that matchup. You have Roman Dolidze. You got Marvin Vettori. And you got Paulo Costa here. I personally love MVP Paulo Costa. I love it. I want it right now. I also like, if Marvin Vettori loses to Roman Dolidze, I also like Marvin Vettori versus Michael Venom Page, because Vettori is just going to walk forward into so many punches. And you can do Page versus Vettori. That'll get him inside of the top 10. You can do Page versus Paulo. It'll get him inside of the top 10. And what do you have after that? Oh my. He wins his top 15 fight. He wins his top 10 fight. Top 5. What do you got? Whitaker. What do you got? Not going to do Adesanya, but you got Whitaker. If he wins Whitaker, what do you got? Strickland. What do you got after that? Title fight. And I actually see a path to victory there. I see a path to victory for him to beat Paulo, for him to beat Marvin Vettori. Him versus Robert Whitaker, he could totally win that fight. Him versus Sean Strickland. Sean is literally going to walk and front kick and teep. You think Sean Strickland's going to land the teep on MVP? I truly believe Michael Venom Page, if he chooses the right fights, could fight for the belt in the middleweight division. Paulo, Marvin, Robert Whitaker, Sean Strickland, he could win all of those. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, impressive win over Shara, but I expected it all along, and I think he could do the same to a lot of these guys as well at middleweight. They're slower. They're not as fast as welterweight. And welterweight's got a lot of the grappler types as well. They got some strikers, but Morales has some good wrestling. Colby's got some good wrestling. Burns, Gary showed his. Buckley can wrestle. Brady can wrestle. Usman, Shavkat, Belal. The path to the title much easier in middleweight. So stay in middleweight. Stay in middleweight, Paige. Please listen to me. Sergey Jarzinho. Do I really gotta break this down for y'all? Boring. The striking, nobody really wanted to commit. When they did commit, Sergey would win because he's more powerful and he's got the longer reach. He'd catch Rosenstruck a little bit. And, he'd mix in some takedowns. It was a pretty boring fight. One or two moments here and there. Easy win for Sergey. Just proves that he would go out there and beat Cyril Gane because he can actually wrestle. He can pressure forward with big punches, get countered a little bit, and then wrestle. That's the meta. That's how you beat Cyril. You get inside with your hooks and you take him down. I think Sergey beat Cyril. It wasn't an impressive win over Jarzinho, but it proved to me that he would beat Cyril. So again, fight, but he got the win. That's all that really matters for him. Vinicius Oliveira Said, another underdog pick I had on this card. Ladies and gentlemen, Vinicius Oliveira, my oh my oh my, lost round one. Got kicked like crazy by Said. Said outpunched him, outkicked him, out everythinged him in round number one. Round number two happens. Vinicius is freaking like a dog out of hell, pressuring forward on Said Nurmagomedov, just like making Said not able to breathe at all. And Vinicius is mixing in takedowns, so he's throwing the punches. And I think like a minute into round number two, he shoots a takedown. Doesn't really want to control it, but just making Said work. Just like Merab did to Umar Nurmagomedov. Vinicius is doing to Said Nurmagomedov. He's taken him down a few times. I think landed like 2 or 3 in round number two when he got back up. 2 minutes left in round two. Said is tired. Vinicius Oliveira is able to come forward without really any worry of Said landing kicks anymore, because kicks cost, is what I'm trying to say, a lot of energy. Kicks cost a lot of energy, and he can't withstand it. Said cannot withstand throwing more kicks, so his kicks are gone, and it's just Said's punches, which are also labored at this point, and Vinicius is just coming forward, faking takedowns. There's still that threat, and Vinicius is landing upstairs as well. Does that in round number two, takes him down a few times in round three, and outboxes him again in round number three. Vinicius Oliveira is a problem, ladies and gentlemen, because of the cardio. It's not he has amazing striking, it's because of the cardio. Striking is solid. His boxing is solid. His takedown defense, his wrestling is solid. In a 5-round fight, ladies and gentlemen, Vinicius Oliveira is a problem. Marcus McGee, Ayman Zahabi, Kyler Phillips. I think he should be ranked below Jose Aldo. And I think right now he could beat some of these guys. He could go out there and put on such a pace. Maybe not Rob Font, because Rob is slightly a better striker and he has great cardio himself. But there's certain matchups in here where he could push the pace on Aldo. Shoot takedowns and mix that in and just wear on the gas tank of Aldo. He's not going to destroy Aldo on the ground. Aldo has great takedown defense, but use that to gas him out and just constantly pressure like he was against Said. He's a problem, ladies and gentlemen. He's one to watch. He is one to watch. Inside of the bantamweight division, man, watch this man. And then we got Fares Ziam from France. My oh my, was this a bloody war? Was this Benoit Saint-Denis is going to be a bloody war? Benoit Saint-Denis says that, but then he's ending up covered in the blood. Fares Ziam doesn't say that. He also ended up in blood because he got cut with like 30 seconds left. But he's cut open cut open Mike Davis badly. badly in round number 2. Or was it like the end of round number 1? I'm forgetting. But my oh my, was blood everywhere. It looked like a lamb just got slaughtered in the middle of the octagon. And I mean, he's not a finisher. He's got a lot of decisions on his record, but he showed power in this fight on the feet. He showed like the grappling was amazing from Faresiam. I know he almost got like freaking his knee torn apart with the calf slice craziness that was happening, but you know, his striking looks a lot better as well. I think he was actually outstriking Mike Davis on the feet, landing the better boxing combinations. There was not a lot of kicks from either guy. In the clinch, it was pretty neutral from the two. And then on the ground, I mean, Fares was getting on top. Mike was pulling guard from time to time, but Fares was getting on top and landing good ground and pound, cutting open Mike. And yes, he was getting submission attempts attempted on him, but he was staying out of all of the danger, staying out of the arm bar, the arm triangles when Mike would get a reversal. And overall, I mean, Fares looked improved. He looked a lot better on the feet. His power looked good. His grappling looked really, really solid as well. I thought it was a great performance, and I think top 15 is next. I've been saying it for a while. Top 15 should be next for Faresiam. You got options. You got French versus French, Benoit Saint-Denis. You got Jalen Turner. You got Moicano. Just kidding. But you got options there. I think Fares deserves a shot. 5 wins in a row. Mike Davis is a legit win. A guy himself on a 4-fight win streak, 2 of which by finish. The other 2 domination wins. Mason Jones, Vyacheslav Borshev. Man, oh man, this man has only lost to former ranked Sadiq Yusuf and ranked Gilbert Burns. That's it. Now Faresiam. An impressive performance there. Faresiam is a problem in the lightweight division. Then we got boringness. Muhammad Naimov, Khan Afli. Muhammad landing the better strikes, defending the takedowns, landing takedowns of his own, and winning the fight. Khan was just that double underhook. My God, was boring. But you know, Muhammad landed his own takedowns, got full mount a few times, good ground and pound, outstruck him on the feet. Pretty bad fight, but Naimov did enough to win. Yeah. Let's move on. Shamil Gaziev, yeah, boring until it wasn't. They were just kind of looking at each other, and then Shamil would throw straight, and looking at each other, and then boom, and then a knockout shot right down the pipe, right on Thomas Peterson. It was kind of straight, but it was barely hooked enough to whip around the chin and knock down Thomas Peterson. Thomas looks up. The ref stops it. He pulls his mouthpiece out and he chucks it as far as he can. Thomas Peterson was pissed. Shamil Gaziev, his second knockout in the UFC. He's 3-1. He's in the top 15 of the heavyweight division. And there's options for him now. He's 14th ranked. I think you do him versus Tuivasa or Derek Lewis. Or Jairzinho. I'm just kidding. You already fought Jairzinho. But yeah, Derek Lewis or Tuivasa next make perfect sense. Good knockout win. Probably going to get 50 G's for that. Terrence McKinney, striking on the feet, hurting him with a few right hands, a few left hooks. And then Damir clinches up. Gets taken down by Terrence McKinney, but he initiated it. Damir initiated the grappling. Terrence gets it to the ground. Ground and pounds a little bit. Gets full mount. Ground and pounds some more. Damir gives his back. And Terrence just keeps ground and pounding. Side of the head. 1 or 2 to the back of the head. We won't talk about it. Terrence McKinney, ground and pound TKO. 2 minutes in. What is that? 2 minutes, 37 seconds, 20 seconds, a minute 25. This is his longest fight since 2023. And it was only 2 minutes. Crazy. Nazim Sadikov, that one went to round 2. So did Ismail Bonfim. That's it. These are the only 2 fights that go to round 2, and he's losing when it goes to round 2. So yeah, if it goes to round 2, he's probably going to lose. But wow, what an impressive performance. Outstruck him, made him wrestle, and out-wrestled him. Got the top, ground and pound TKO. Impressive win. Jasmine Jasudavicius, amazing performance. Outstruck Mayra Bueno Silva. Mayra was landing some powerful shots early on in the fight, but after that, I mean, she was just getting kicked at range and jabbed and 1-2'd and whatnot. And then Mayra would close the distance and try to go for a guillotine or an armbar or whatever. And then Jasmine would just be like, okay, you wanna pull guard? You wanna go for submissions? Boom. Ground and pound domination. Jasmine got the crucifix at one point. Easy win for Jasmine Adesanyas. Let's check the rankings here for her. She's ranked 12th. I think that win over a number 7 ranked women's bantamweight should be treated as you beating a top 10 women's flyweight. Should be treated like you just beat Viviane Araújo. So I think Jasmine Adesanyas should fight Rose Namajunas. Rose is coming off a loss. She's number 6, former champion. Rose has already fought on draws. Why would we do Caitlyn? Why would we do Viviane? Reba's, she's already beaten. Tracy Cortez. Jasmine versus Rose Namajunas. Give her that step up. Amazing performance over number 7 at bantamweight. Let's see what she could do with number 6 at flyweight. Bogdan Grad, Lucas Alexander. Lucas won round 1. Defending takedowns from Bogdan and reversing a few times, getting on top, landing his shots. I believe Lucas landed the more effective strikes in round number 1 for sure. Bogdan was a little bit too reliant on those single legs, but he ended up getting it in round number 2, got on top, ground and pound of Lucas, and Lucas just started to gas out a little bit. Bogdan got the full mount and started ground and pounding there, and Lucas kind of gave up. I don't know for sure. I'm just making my assumption based on what I watched. I think he kind of gave up a little bit. And Bogdan just kept elbowing, punching. Got the stoppage with like a minute left in round 2. So a little bit longer and the fight would have gone to round 3 where, again, Bogdan probably would have took him down again and finished him. But impressive win. Bogdan 1-0 in the UFC. Lucas probably going to get cut, for being honest here. And then, first fight of the night, Hamdi versus Jamal Pogues. Jamal won. Let's be honest here. Jamal won. Hamdi's now 4-0. He got the no contest. He got the win over Dante. It was overturned. Now he's got another controversial win, beating Jamal. He got outstruck in round 2, round 3. Round 1 was close, but Jamal won the fight. Come on. Let's be serious here. Jamal won the fight. But unfortunately for him, he's not an exciting heavyweight. He's not a powerful heavyweight. He's 2-2 in the UFC. Yeah, he beat Josh Parisian, who's no longer in the UFC. He beat Thomas Peterson, who right now in the UFC has a record of 1-2. And now he's 2-2. His contract just ended. He was talking about he doesn't know if he's going to get a new contract. I think he's going to get cut. I find it unfortunate because he should be 3-1. He should be 3-1. And I predicted Hamdi to win by a close decision because I think they would rob him in Saudi Arabia, which they did. But it sucks for him because he outstruck him. It was a boring, sloppy, close little striking fight. Hamdi coming forward, Jamal countering him and moving. But yeah, I mean, Hamdi won, and Jamal's probably going to get cut. Lucas is probably going to get cut. Damir probably going to get cut. Hopefully, they might give him one more fight, but he's probably going to get cut. Peterson has one more fight in his contract. He might get cut. Other than that, everybody else is staying on the roster. Myra's a ranked fighter, so obviously she's not going to get cut. But yeah, there's some potential cuts here, and there's a lot of good things that came from this card. Hamdi representing Egypt as their only UFC fighter. Bogdan Grad representing Romania as one of their only fighters, I believe. Maybe even their only fighter. Austria is like one of 3 Austrian fighters. Jasmine representing Brazil. Canada as their only women's MMA representative other than Jillian Robertson. Terrence McKinney with the win. He's a big name. Shamil Gaziev cementing his place in the top 15. Mohamed Naimov representing Tajikistan, which has a big fan base. Fares Siam as the new face, kind of French men's MMA. Cyril Gane is going downhill. Imavov is staying up there. But in terms of lightweight, Benoit Saint-Denis is coming out. Fares Siam's coming in. We still got a fresh face of French MMA at lightweight. Fares Siam. Vinicius Oliveira, amazing win. Oh my God. I'm going to be thinking about that for a while. Pavlovich, boring. Naimov, that was boring as well. But you represented for Tajikistan. Michael Venom Page, amazing fight. Amazing win. Amazing performance. Give him Paulo Costa next, please. Or give him Marvin Vettori next. Come on, please. Nasruddin Imavov, oh my God. The most impressive performance of the night. because it's against the former 8-time UFC champion. Just boom, 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 boom. Winning the title so many times, and Imavov starches him. Dricus couldn't do it. Alex Pereira couldn't do it. Blachowicz couldn't do it. Strickland couldn't do it. Imavov did. It took 5 rounds for Alex Pereira to do it in a fight he was losing, but Imavov did it. Dricus barely did it, again, in a fight he was losing, and he didn't knock him out. He submitted him. Sean did it, but he got a decision win. Imavov did it, and he got a knockout win. Impressive performances. Can't wait to see what the future holds. There's so many good prospects here. Jasmine, I me's 35 years old, but she's a good prospect. Shamil Gaziev is still there. He's still young. It's heavyweight, 34 years old. He's young for the heavyweight division. Naimov is still young. He's only 30 years old, in his prime. Faresiam is 27 years old, in his prime. Before his prime, actually. Vinicius is before his prime. 29 years old. So a lot of future contenders here. Naimov could be a future ranked. Fares, future ranked. Oliveira, future ranked. Shamil, in the rankings. Jasmine, in the rankings. Bogdan, Hamdi, I don't think they're going to be future ranked, but I digress. Great card. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.